They say I'm obsessed, that sim racing courses through my veins. They say I'm consumed, that I chase my goals with relentless fire. They say I'm unreasonable, that pushing the limit is my only desire. But I heed to a different call. The roaring of a virtual engine, the whisper of perfect force. Passion isn't a price tag. Passion is felt in every detail. The barrier is broken. The threshold of direct drive realism is here for every driver. Driven by passion, powered by PXN. New Gen Direct Drive is now. Discover the PXN VD series.
Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of race 2 here in Bahrain. Our competitors have just finished their last race and are now in the last few minutes of qualifying for that grid start in race 2. Leonardo Valle, who dominated race 1, is in first position here again temporarily with 159.312, and taking a look at what happened in the last race, the preliminary standings here, I won't put them up on the screen, but they see Fulvio Di Polito still in first position with 51 points, Alessandro Alfano with 44, Leonardo Valle with 41, so that gap tightening up at the top, and then Marco Vella 32, Andrea Piazza 26, couple guys here in 18, that is Dominic Bauer and Giuseppe Di Liberto, and then wrapping up our top 10 is Gianluca Rigatti with 14, Giacomo D'Angelo with 14, and Rowan Dunhood with 12. So thank you guys. I see there's a lot of comments here, so let me answer some of your comments. Could y'all send me a wheel? Probably not. I don't have a spare. So how much is a direct drive setup? Well, it depends. So a VD4, depending on where you purchase it, whether on the PXN website, that's ePXN, will set you back anything between 250 and 300 euros, and that is a super solid direct drive setup. 4 Newton meters constant, 5 peak. Beautiful, beautiful setup for first timers, people that want to have a little bit of quality on the track, and it's really a massive upgrade from previous iterations. Obviously, then you can go up the ladder with these mid-tier setups like the VD6 and VD10. Those are going to provide a lot of stronger force feedback and performance. So that is kind of the rough price. I want a V10 Pro steering wheel with an A7 system. Please do me a favor so I can start streaming Sims. Well, another lovely request. You can absolutely reach out to me on Discord with your credentials, and we'll see what I can do. You can find me on the PXN Discord. My name's Tio. Come say hello. Yeah, the V10 is good. The V10 Ultra is also a great kit if you want to have something that is maybe a little less customizable, but a bit easier on the bank account. And yeah, I mean, keep an eye out as well for discounts and sales and all of that. And I mean, you get what you pay for in a sense as well, because the quality is so high that the cost, and that is what people are saying online. You know, you can look up reviews of the VD series. There are tons of reviews from all sorts of different languages, and you know, they say the same thing. You're paying for a lot of quality, and if you compare it to some of PXN's competitors, you may be paying for a little more. So that is my take on that. What kind of setups do you guys have now? If anyone is still in the chat, please let me know. What are you racing with? What are you driving? Or is this, you know, your goal is to get your first rig and you're thinking PXN might be the one for you? Curious to hear what you guys are driving. I should say, I've tried the VD10 at Gamescom and at Sim Racing Expo last year. Solid wheel base. I really enjoyed it, and I love trying out the Vector X pedals as well. Those are gonna be so amazing when they come out. I'm very excited for that. But in terms of details, as I said, those things remain to be seen when that might come out later down the year. But yeah, lots of exciting things really coming out from PXN's. So please keep an eye out. Please follow, guys. Go and subscribe to the channel. Go and check out the last few videos we posted. There's lots of really fun content in terms of sim racing, but as well like really deep look at the products. And if you search online, I mean on YouTube as well, for VD series or V10 Ultra, you kind of can get lots of hands-on reviews as well, which could make for great help in terms of making your decision. And of course, if you keep an eye out on sim racing events and gaming events, you know, if PXN is around, you can also try out the product for yourself in real life, and that will definitely convince you, I think. So here we are, 2.5 minutes left on qualifying. No major changes here in terms of the top 10. Looking good for Vade, Ron the Hood in second. Unfortunately, Ron had a disconnection issue in the last race. That was rough, so touch wood that he'll be alright going into race 2 in a very comfortable second position on the grid start at this moment in time. And we'll see. I mean, it's all to play for. Some of these guys are really fast in quali, but then you can see things shake up a little bit in terms of race time and their performance on the track. maybe some guys a little more. I mean, it's a lot of it comes down to experience as well. So curious to see how everything shapes up now that we're almost there for race 2. It's been very exciting to have you all here. Grateful for you all watching, and we hope to bring you some very, very exciting action now in the second race. I am hosting the second race solo with the help of our technician Lorenzo, chief engineer as I like to call him, who will help us look at the replays. So obviously we can expect some of that action to materialize now as the race continues. And we've got 17 people with registered times. Of course, these guys here at the bottom, Diliberto and Shotar, they weren't able to join us today. Tarnowski seems to have decided not to participate in this second race after the accident he had in race 1. Obviously, that's very tough after you have such an accident on the track to then have to settle your emotions and try to come back. But same here, it looks like for Maciek Kasprzyk, he secured a 4th position finish in day 2 race 1 just a moment ago. So interesting to see him unable to compete this second race as he secured his first 10 points just now. But everybody else is here. We've got 17 people on the circuit. Very nice turnout. So and as hi Kudo Gaming, thank you. We're gonna take a look at any messages that you guys send over after the race, so just stay tuned. But when I am talking about discounts, I'm talking about potential events that are happening in your region. It could be a seasonal sale, such as a Christmas sale, or an Eid, Ramadan sale. It could be Black Friday. So there's moments in the calendar where you might be able to find a good deal on PXN products. Although that said, the products are fairly priced already. So as I said, it'll be great if you are able to try them out in person as well at local events. We're gonna be at Gamescom in Germany. We're gonna again in Germany. We most likely will also be in Frankfurt for the Sim Racing Expo. Don't take it as gospel. I'm just saying these could be the plans that PXN has in store as we get ready for grid start. So let me run a very quick break as the grid starts filling up, and you'll hear back from me in just a minute.
formation lap has started.
Alright, and we've started with our formation lap, so all eyes on the track now as we enter this second race. Two beautiful yellow liveries there at the front of Leonardo Vare and Ronan Hood, followed by the two teammates, Dipolito, Vella and Alfano. That's three teammates there from DC Racing behind the two yellow cars. And fan favorite Dominic Bauer there in sixth. So let's keep our eyes peeled now on the action as we begin this very, very exciting race 2 here in Bahrain under the shade of night.
Green flag.
And we've got a green flag, and Alfano already cutting into the center as we set off. Marco Vella takes third position. Leonardo Vare there also losing a position, but as it's all still mixed up. Let's see how they all turn into. A couple of bumps there between the two teammates that don't give each other enough space. Ronan Hood manages to keep second position alive. Alfano cutting into the out of the track there, but doesn't gain any position, so he should be okay. Marco Vella, but he loses a little bit of space there as well. Alfano. Leonardo Vare comfortably pushing into first. Is this going to be a repeat of day one of race 1? Is he going to stay strong there? Let's take a look at the back. Our legend Dominic Bauer and Dipolito fighting. Piazza right behind. The track is all full up. PXN, GLS PXN team members there as well. Leonardo Vare is still up. Ronan Hood still second as everybody lines up here into our next turn. It's going to be one to keep an eye on everything, and Dominic being pushed out of the track limits there a little bit, and here we go. It's neck and neck between everybody, as it always is at the beginning of the race, though. Very exciting to see what happens. Perrin seems to have lost a lot of time there at the back. Janowski just ahead of him, Gottschalk ahead of him behind this big old train, and we see somebody lose track. It's Maciek Kasprzyk there. He lost track of his, he lost all of his car, so we're going to have to take a look at what just happened there. Was there a collision somehow? Very, very unlucky. He disconnects, unfortunately. It's a DNF for him. After supposedly starting without a qualifying time, so in last position. Maybe a tactic there that didn't quite play to his benefit. Roan sticking to Leonardo Vare right now. 0.3 of a second. He's cutting in the inside but decides not to and sticks behind. As some of these other guys here as well. Just following up. Marco Vella, Alfano, Dipolito, the three teammates still taking third to fifth. Dominic Bauer in 7th behind him, D'Angelo and the GLS team members. As we see an attack here from Oscar Soprich, trying to take, Kasper Gazio, who's trying to take over top promo. Infante behind him. Janowski catching up a little bit. Borini just behind him as well. So plenty of movement here between the three guys. As we keep a lookout on the first one, Leonardo Vare, sticking to first position. Hi Monix, I mean, if you watch the whole stream and keep commenting, you can ask me again at the end about that V10 Pro. I'm not promising you anything, of course, but you know, just stick around, help the algorithm, say hello, speak to the others, ask me more questions. Why not? Then we can talk about what free stuff you may be able to get. It does look like we have the replay ready. I want to make sure that we don't skip any action, so just keep an eye on the track. Now I think we're in a comfortable position in a moment to take a look at what happened in that accident. Yes, we're gonna go to the replay now. Let's take a look. just what happened here. So it seems to be a collision, maybe as well from the back that pushed. Is there any contact between? Yeah, I can see there's some contact here between the BMW and the Porsche. It gives him that initial bump, and then there seems to be an unfortunate accident there, but maybe not enough space given to Macho there. That's very unfortunate. We will take a look at that in terms of refereeing decisions at a later date. Everybody else is quite spread out at the moment. Some combat happening in positions 7th to 9th for those kind of points positions. At the back, you've got the other guys sort of hoping to resist and last as long as possible. Two guys at the front continue to push very well. The 16-year-old Rondon Hood, really a big shame that he couldn't compete in the first one. And I agree, I feel very bad for the Porsche. It's definitely, it looks like a mistake from the BMW there of Infante bumping into the back and letting the Porsche.
It seems there was some latency problem as well.
Pardon?
There was some latency problem as well.
Yeah. I mean, Infante, it's fair to say that some of these guys are racing from global positions, and I agree what you're saying, Monix, in terms of, you know, it's such a strong accident there that could have been avoided. Was latency involved, as Lorenzo said, maybe because of the connection difference in terms of positions in the world. Infante racing from Mexico on this European server, so does that play a part? As we see Piazza and Dominic Bauer competing, Piazza in 6th, Dominic in 7th. That's gonna be interesting there. Nothing crazy thus far. There's a lot of battles. I mean, the time between our competitors are very tight still at the moment. Gotta keep an eye on pushing the limits of the car and what that means in terms of fuel. But these two PXN guys, GLS guys, will they do battle, or will they comfortably continue to lead and hope that others in front of them may have to pit earlier for their own battling sakes? Here we go, Dominic Bauer with a beautiful inside overtake, but Piazza comes to take it back on his own inside. Now Bauer doesn't have that much space and is forced to recede his position. Let's take a look here as well. Giacomo Landro just behind as well, and our top guys, Vare has now almost got a second ahead of Rondon Hood. Those two guys are comfortably up and have a couple. Oh, here's a bump here from Comaza on D'Angelo as well. Maybe a little accidental bump there. Yes, Monix, ask me all the questions you want. I'm here to answer them. As long as I haven't got my eyes on the screen, I can review them and answer them. So please do send your questions. Piazza and Bauer again, still to play for that 6th position. These guys are tight, and we can expect some more action to come out of this little train here between Piazza and Soprich, who are all battling for those points. Very, very important at this stage of the tournament to get as many points as possible. Can my V9 shifters connect to the PXN V10 series? I'm not so sure. If you don't mind, Monix, add me on Discord. My name is TOTEEO. I will look into that for you personally and let you know about compatibility. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a solid question. And let's take a look here. Bauer actually does take the position from Piazza. Piazza wants that back. Cannot do that from the outside. So looks into turn very well into the inside here. And Bauer overshoots the track a little bit, but holds on to his position thus far. This battle not going to end anytime soon, and the guys behind are all ready and hungry for what comes next. Let's give some other guys a little screen time as well, just to see, you know, Bahrain here in 17th position on the McLaren. Janowski ahead of him. Janowski on the Porsche and Burini. They have their own little battle here for 15th at the moment. We've got Shark ahead as well, so interesting to see how these guys continue to play out and race, because who knows what will happen ahead of them if they continue to hold their fort, shall we say, and not battle between each other, but help each other get further down the track. And that'll be interesting to see. Casper Gaisio at the moment battling Angel Infante there. Angel, we had that accidental, again, was it a server issue? Most likely. Curious to see how that turns out when we review it officially. Promo here, which had the very unfortunate experience of of running out of energy in the pits. He was in the pits with 1% energy. We saw that last week, and that turned out better than this time. Really awkward. And Vade here again, he's gaining a couple of milliseconds per lap thus far, though we could say that Rowan not giving up on him at all. The Dutchman just behind, and here we got some battling here between Angelo Piazza, which lost another position. He was battling for 6th, and now he finds himself in 8th. So we'll keep an eye on this action here. Are all these players playing with PXN wheels? No, they're not. So the GLS PXN guys most likely are driving with the VD10, as there's a little tightness here. Who gets out top? It's all standard. But now Dominic Bauer, he's the one that kind of benefits the most from that battle that everyone was having. He comes out ahead of the others in 7th to 10th, so now in the lead of the room. Please, PXN, send me PXN V10 Pro. Easy. Keep writing. Get this algorithm popping. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Probably you have subscribed. Go take a look at some of the other videos. Give us some love. And then we can talk about... By the way, this is not an official PXN comment. What I'm saying about the free stuff is a joke. In case you guys are taking it too seriously. But, as a kind person that I am, I'm willing to entertain the idea. Alright?
It's a terrible thing.
You know, at the personal level. You know, who knows? I'm a... Thank you, Wanix. Thank you for subscribing. Absolute legend. It really helps, and I mean, everyone says that, but it's true. It is absolutely key. Aloka Chowdhury, hello, welcome. Let's do a brief overview here at the 32-minute mark. We've got Ronaldo Vade, who's still first, and Rowan just behind him. These guys, as comfortable as it can be. And really, you say, well, what if that disconnection didn't happen? Where would Rowan be after race 1? You know, that's very curious. The 3 teammates here, Marco Vella, Alfano, and Ippolito, all back to back together as well. Curious to see what would happen here. And unfortunately, it looks like one of our races has been hacked on Discord right now. Yeah, just gonna report that quickly. It's all pretty steady at the moment. I'll say everybody driving safely. How many laps have they passed already? They are all on 7 laps and plenty more to come. Absolutely. I mean, we're going to be seeing the first couple of refuelings happen, I suppose, in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll be curious to see how everything shapes up after that. Maybe some twists and turns there. All remains to be seen. Let me see. As we can see, there's nobody else at the moment having any special incidents or accidents. Bahrain solidly finishing every race thus far with his McLaren. Interesting to see Casper Gacy a little bit behind in terms of his usual, and so with Daniel as well. These guys have gotten us used to very, very exciting racing. As Daniel and Janowski here are battling it, and Daniel takes it very wide there and loses 2 positions. Unfortunate. Jakub Janowski and Matteo Borrini making the most out of that and saying thank you very much, we'll take it. Infant has also gotten 1 extra position now. He's in 12th. Here again, between 11th and 13th, there's a lot to play for. They're about 1 second off the points, so it's all still to be determined in this last batch here. Everyone is still sticking together. A bit of a repetition of what happened last race in terms of that middle pack between 7 and sort of 12. Last time it proved to be a very tricky battle, which then was faded out by the needing to refuel. What will happen this time? Let's just keep an eye out on this batch. How many percentage of feedback do I need to play on? Look, if you've never played on a direct drive wheel, you don't need to bump it up to 100%. That's a fact. I mean, I was used to playing on a little higher. Hold on, let's just take a look at this. Komasa is attacking Piazza, but just playing it safe there, taking a little break and moving behind, avoiding any crashes thus far, but keep an eye on these guys. But yeah, I would say 50 to 70% is more than enough. Like, as I said, like, I've seen first timers on the VD4 saying that 100% was too much. So I would say you definitely don't need to crank it out to max. 50 to 70, 60, 70%, you're in a good spot, for sure. See now, Dipolito, he's lost a bit of time versus his 2 colleagues in the 2 Mercedes there of DC Racing. Dipolito, who is currently leading the tournament without taking into consideration these points for this race. He was sitting clearly at the top with 51. But things are going to change, of course, if it continues to remain this way. Dominic Bauer in a kind of space of his own there, in 6th. Where are the Dominic Bauer fans, guys? If you're still here, say hello. If not, you gotta come and cheer up for your guy. This is your guy, so say hello if you're here. What do you mean by hard, Monix? Like really tough to drive, or explain? I'm happy to give you some feedback on that. Andrea Piazza is holding back a couple of the GLS guys here, who I'm sure are waiting for their moment to overtake at this stage. Piazza, which actually won race 2. Ooh, here we go from the outside. That's a interesting decision. Piazza uses the track limits perfectly, while Comasa loses out there and loses the position to his teammate Oscar Suffrage. Careful now, the two GLS drivers, not to cause any accidents among themselves. That's the last thing we want to see. As we keep our eyes fixed on this train, and now of course a couple guys going in the yellow and almost on the red in terms of energy, so curious to see who's gonna pit. I mean, Dipolito's got 22%, so perhaps him slowing down is also part of the strategy to retain some of that fuel. Giacomo D'Angelo did that really well in race 1, getting a ton of positions, so you can see him now as well. 23%, the best in the top 8 in terms of energy saving. As Top Romo now has taken a position as well. So lovely to see the racing here between these guys, keeping it tight and exciting. Yeah, I mean, I would love playing No Hezi with like a really smooth pace. I think a VD4 will be quite comfortable for, like, if you're not looking for competitive play. At 60-70%, you might have a really good time in that. In Raleigh it was fun, yeah, I bet. And hi Quadriga. Game over. Game over indeed for some of these guys. Will Roan go and refuel? He's lost a couple of seconds on Leonardo Vare now. But and a little slip there, but nothing to worry about, as the guys are now looking to lap Federico Perin, who has been an absolute sportsman until now. Obviously, careful how Roan decides to. What does Roan decide to do? He continues on. So I know he pits. Very smart decision by Roan Den Hood to pit. 6% wouldn't have been enough. What is the decision now in terms of fuel percentage to regain before he gets back on track? And will this early stop serve him well? How is he going to shape up in terms of the others? And then Piazza now in as well. Nobody else has decided to pit, it seems, thus far. Okomasa, he's at 95%, so I missed his pitting. He's done and fueled up and ready to go. Roan keeping it all the way to 95, 96. He's going for the 100. He's going for the 100. Is that a little too much? It's a 45-minute race, 23 minutes. He used about 84. I mean, he's playing it safe. For sure. Some of these guys now, I mean, Ronaldo Valley, he keeps... we got a yellow flag. Anyway, he decides to do one more lap. Michael Vella and Alfano, just the same, behind him. On those very limited energies now. Dominic Bauer, same thing there. These guys haven't changed positions. They've all kind of been bumped up one because of Rowan's early hitting. So curious to see how it all shapes up now that Rowan has to, that all the others will have to pit and Rowan gets to drive on through. Vade here on 2%. Does he have enough energy to pit? Looks like he probably will. But he really, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Very scary.
Scary.
All of them are 2-3%.
2, 3. I mean, Vadik looks like he's made it. Obviously, as long as there's not 1% takes him, right? Vela behind him though. Yeah, the two teammates here managed to come in. Does Vale have enough to actually position himself on his spot? Yeah, he has to reverse a little bit. That would have probably lost him a little bit. But he's fueling. Weird positioning situation there with Vale. But where is our man Rowan? Rowan seems to be a minute behind these guys. Now he's got all the time in the world to catch up. Where is he gonna end up? He's currently in 14th. Literally everybody else is in the pit now, or about to come in. Borini makes it just in time as well with a 1%. Leonardo's lifting up with 83%. He's like, oh, I'll take the 83% and get back on track. Otherwise,
big strategy here.
Yeah, very interesting. 20% less than Rowan, right? Rowan is right there behind him, so actually, Vale maybe it may have worked very much in his favor now that he's also got Alfano, Marco Vella behind him. So maybe Rowan spending too much time in the pit lane to get the 100%. Would it be safer to perhaps push it to the 90s and unless he was obviously planning for a very aggressive end to the race. But now when Dipolito, D'Angelo and Top Romo are going to finally pit, we're going to see how this whole lineup plays off. But here we go, Geyser and Infante here, and Soprish in front of him. They're right back to where they left off with terms of combat. All three of them getting a couple of positions.
Dipolito 1%.
Dipolito 1%. Let's see where he's at. He's turning into the last turn here. As he sees the pit, but he's on 0. Hopefully he doesn't get the top promo treatment, but he's also got a break now and managed the speed limit and pit. Does he have enough energy? Let's see now. He seems to be lined up, and yes, he does hook up, and he's fueling.
Yeah. Oof, that was close.
That was very close. D'Angelo as well. Top Bromo hasn't learned from his last race. He's at 0% in here as well, but also manages to refuel. Now these guys have the potential to take on a little less, as Leonardo Vare is about 13 seconds behind them as these guys pit. So let's see now, what does Dipolito do? Does he says thank you very much, 74 is enough. Obviously
he has one extra lap as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's quite a solid play there. By these guys sticking on 7. The two,
yeah, pretty much they left at the same level of energy.
Yeah,
that's smart from
absolutely. These guys, I guess the biggest winner from this pitting situation is Leonardo Vare, because he went into the when Rowan went into the pits, he was only 2 seconds behind, and now Rowan is 9 seconds behind Leonardo Vare. So Vare, super strong. Strong strategy there for Vare, and I think the battle here is gonna be for 3rd position. Now, Rowan obviously not happy to have lost 2 positions to Alfano and Marco Vella.
Well, Rowan has 10% extra energy.
A little heavier.
Yeah. Little heavier, but maybe you can push a little bit harder towards the end.
True. As he tries to go on the inside here, and as you said, you know, he does have the ability. Well, so he's a bit heavier. He's very fast today, and he's got the opportunity to push a little harder than his 2 opponents in front of him. Curious to see how this shapes up. We're going to keep our eyes on this section of the track. I mean, Piazza, Top Bromo here, Humasa also all battling it out. Oscar Soprich and Infante just half a second between those 2 guys. So the pit stop in this case has actually reopened the race in a few sections of the track, so it's kind of the opposite as last time.
It seems like second, third, and fourth is gonna be like where the contention is.
Absolutely,
seems like to be dominating.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. Alfano has got a 2.5 seconds behind those other 2 guys who, if they do end up in a battle, Alfano's gonna get away as well, perhaps. A couple more comments here. The Jersey Slugger. What game is this? It's Le Mans Ultimate. And you're watching the PXN Legends Series 1 tournament, race 2. Yeah, Monix, I'm not so good at drifting either. I prefer games like LMU for sure. iRacing. Those sort of things, those sort of sims. I haven't done much drifting or rally really. I haven't played Assetto Corsa Rally yet either. Curious to try that one though, for sure. That looks very exciting. Super positive reviews compared to some of the other sims that came out recently. Let's take a look here. What are we seeing? Bromo and Piazza in the same car and same livery. Might be up for something here with the Iron Dames liveries there. Beautiful. And I'm gonna keep an eye on these times as well. See what may happen in these last 15 minutes in terms of action and reaction from these guys. No more accidents as far as I'm concerned. Touch wood again there, but all clean and nice in the last 20 minutes or so. Alfano is, getting a couple seconds quicker. He was 8 seconds behind Valley. I think now 6.6. Bella and Rowan, these guys, every point matters, and the fact that Rowan obviously missed out on points last race, he definitely wants to get as many points as possible.
Can I give a shout out to Federico Perin? Regardless, he's one lap behind. I think last race as well, he had like a collision or something, but he kept going.
Yeah.
The guy does not give up.
Yeah. He's here to
enjoy, to take everything that he can from this race.
100%. Massive respect to Perin. Perin, who obviously is at a different level in terms of experience from some of these other guys competing here, because those that qualified had to do with fastest lap times. And we've got a lot of seasoned veterans here, as well as, incredibly fast guys. Like Rowan is only 16, but he's up there in terms of some of the best in the series at the moment. Leonardo Vare is an absolute alien when it comes to speed, and he also qualified in first. So like the grid and the competition is quite tight. I mean, Rowan qualified in 10th position in Fuji, so there you see him really shine through now in this official racing. And I mean, some of these other guys as well, like Top Promo, he's driving out all the way from Brunei in Asia, so seemingly very good internet speed there. But as you said, Perin, a massive shout out to Perin. Him is the McLaren. He has never given up. He's finished every single race, despite of any accidents or anything else that was thrown his way.
And it was the only one that applied to when we had a cancellation of what it
Oh yeah. So there was 2 cancellations. The first one was replaced by Oscar Soprich, I believe. So Oscar finished qualifying in 14th, so he didn't get in automatically, he was picked. And then the second call out, which was the last before the tournament began, Perin was the only one to apply, so automatically he got in. We were selecting races depending on their performance, and given that there was nobody to compare him with, he did get in. But as I said, really amazing sportsmanship from Perin, so completely agree with your shout out there. And not much is changing in terms of the top 4. I mean, Rowan's still sticking on to Marco Vella. Alfano's also getting caught up by Vella a little bit. We're a second behind. That is a lot of time to try and catch up. It's talking about mistakes or slips and things like that. And an interesting battle here continues between the 2 Iron Dames Lamborghinis. So I'm not going to interrupt the action, but I will be muted for just a minute. You can continue to watch the race. I'll be right back. Please leave your comments and stuff so I can come back and reply to all of them. Alright guys, I'm back here. Vare keeping a very comfortable gap. Though, you know, Alfano and Bella here.
Alfano had a little bit of awkward turn.
Yeah?
Went a bit out.
Yeah, because you can
So
see
lost a little bit of time there.
Bella kind of catching up.
Marching free. Being a second and a half over Ron.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah, Ron there, he was so close to a battle.
Like half a second, no?
Yeah, he was very, about half a second. So now he's in trouble because he's got Dipolito behind him, less than a second. So now kind of holding on to that position.
I wonder how much the percentage of energy actually affects the performance of the car, like is related to speed and
yeah, in terms of weight, it definitely has an effect. Like, ooh, and then Piazza breaks early, Bromo breaks early, Kamaza has to break early, otherwise he hits the bump there. Luckily, they've all got very good reflexes, but this potential for an overtake perhaps on the inside. There we go. Komasa and Bromo now wheel to wheel. And he does take the position, but we've got a left turn here coming up, so perhaps not enough to hold on to that position. But he does. Komasa now Top Bromo here doesn't want to give that up. I mean, this is between a point and 2. I mean, it's super important at this stage to score. So exciting to see what happens there. But there might be a battle on here for second place. Obviously, these two are teammates. Do they want to risk it for the extra points? I mean, is Marco happy with third? Does he want second? He's now over 2 seconds ahead of Rowan. Ippolito now instead just half a second behind Rowan. So might the 3DC Racing team members squeeze in a 2, 3, and 4? Very curious to see. Dominic Bauer again here. That is not mine, it's the chief engineer's dog who was commenting on a replay. She wasn't happy with, I guess, the results of that crash. And again here, very, very tight combat between these two guys. I mean, Massa wants to take a second Lamborghini's position, clearly. And he does on the inside, a beautiful overtake. It does force Piazza out a little bit, and you can see Bromo there, unsteady on the wheel, but all is clean at the moment. And hope it continues to be. Now Piazza having to give away that position fully unless he tries here on the inside, but obviously safe driving comes first. These guys are all in the points, you don't want them to collide or anything, but yeah, this is gonna be an exciting couple of seconds. But I also want to go and take a look at Ron and Ippolito a bit higher up, because Ippolito is now really on Ron's tail. And it could mean an overtake, if not this lap. Oh, he does attempt it, and now the inside there, tire to tire here. Ippolito holds on to that 5th position for a second. He doesn't push through quite yet, but this is going to be an exciting couple of laps with these guys, both in the points, and so is the fight here for 8th and 10th. Super open, still not to play for. So a couple of very exciting things to keep our eyes on. Let's go back here as well, see just how these guys are faring in the back. I mean, for Oscar Soprich and the back line, I mean, the points are just there in their vision. So as long as no accidents casualties are taken, then these guys, you know, what do? Do you push to the limit for the most points possible and risk losing all points, or do you play it safe? Romo thinking about taking over the Iron Dame's twin of his, but he decides not to just yet. But there's action there ready to be delivered for sure. So keeping an eye on this one as well. And he tries on the inside, but he holds on to that just yet. Rowan still comfortably half a second ahead of Ippolito, who has a much lighter car, to his respect, just 9% of fuel. But now, if he pushes too much, he's gonna risk reaching the end of the. No, he's where is he? 8%. I think that's okay. I don't think he's gonna end up the race without enough energy. But Rowan definitely got much more. As Bromo does overtake Piazza, and Piazza not happy with that. He wants his position back. The two there, see, almost colliding. But again, the battle for the points is there and the points are for the taking. So these guys are not gonna let through for sure. Rowan kind of regains about almost a second ahead of his of Dipolito, who was chasing right after him. So these two guys are really after it now. Oh, and a collision there between the two. Bromo gets the most out of it, flashing top Bromo. I mean, there was some kind of mishap with the recording, with the stream, so unsure exactly how that would have looked on the track, so one to consider for review after. Hopefully we'll get a few replays going and seeing there. But Leonardo Vade in a race of his own. Alfano slowly catching up, but doesn't have enough time. The clock is up. So here, this last turn here is going to be the last turn for Vade, who very well has done a back-to-back here in Bahrain. Another first position for the Italian driver in the Lamborghini as he crosses the finish line. Alfano right behind him, 1% energy, followed by Marco Vella, followed by Rowan Den Hood, who secures a solid 4th position. Dipolito right behind him in 5th. Giacomo D'Angelo, a very positive performance from him with a 6th and 8th place. Dominic Bauer, another solid performance in the points, followed by Comasa. And Piazza, who does hold on to 9th position, taking Tom Bromo's 10th once again there, finishing up the points as the other guys now come in as well. And we can see them all cross the finish line one by one. Matteo Borini in 15th. And we got Daniel coming up in 16th, followed by Federico Perin, who will comfortably get to the end of the race. And that is all of them. You got 4 cats. I mean, they're definitely less noisy. I love cats. I have a cat as well, just the one. It was a stray who found itself in my house at some point and was fed enough to stay. So yeah, 4. How is managing 4 cats? As we keep it in here, slowly making its way in. Look, fantastic race 2 overall. Cute. Yeah, hopefully you can. I mean, guys, add me on Discord, everybody who's here. Let's continue these conversations. If anything, I told you my username is TWEO. You can add me and we can continue chatting there. But in terms of the stream, this is all from me. Monix, thank you so much for sticking around and chatting with me. It was great to have you. Appreciate that, and thanks to everybody else as well who contributed. There was lots of talking and chatting, which was always nice. So please say hello to me, add me if you like to keep talking. Thank you so much for watching race 2. We're gonna keep it going in 3 weeks time with our next race, which is in Portimao, Portugal. That is at the last week of February, so tune into that. And the tournament is going to finish where it all began, in Monza. So really exciting stuff. See you guys there. All the best. Thank you for watching.